Hi everyone, I'm Caden James, and today I want to talk to you about the difference between being a salesperson and a conscientious contributor. There's a huge difference between these two things. So to be a great salesperson, there are some wonderful qualities that you have to learn, skills you have to have. You have to have confidence. You have to be good at following through and following up with clients. You have to be good at knowing your product knowledge. You want to constantly be learning and growing so that you can be one of the experts in your field. You have to be good at being friendly and personable with people. You want to build empathy and rapport. So there's all these wonderful things we want to do, right, to be a good salesperson. But to be a conscientious contributor, which I will refer to from now on as a contributor, to be somebody who offers value without holding on to it and grasping it tightly. When you think about a salesperson is there to sell a product, but ultimately their usually intention is to make money, to profit off someone, to sell a product, good or service, and get a return. And oftentimes the sales mentality is all about the bottom line. It's about putting pressure on the salesperson, and you can feel the pressure, you can feel the intention, you can feel the manipulation a lot of times when you're dealing with a salesperson, because they are trying to get an agenda pushed through, and then at the end of that, they maybe go through a whole long monologue, and then at the end of that, they are pressuring you, buy now, sign here, cut a check. It's a lot of pressure. And that sometimes works because maybe the customer gets worn out from hearing the pitch, and they're just like, okay, just take my money already. Like, you've been going through this whole monologue, you haven't even listened to me, but I just want to get you out of my hair. Or you've been knocking on my door over and over, or you've been sending me countless emails, and finally I'm just gonna give in. But for both parties, it doesn't feel that rewarding. So for the person that's hard selling, they don't usually feel very good about themselves. And the person that is buying off that hard sell, they don't usually walk away feeling that great either. So that's why being a contributor is so much more effective. It's so much more powerful. And so to be a contributor, you lead with value. So you are concerned with what is going to be the best possible outcome for the person in front of me, the customer, the client. You are going to extend good resources, good tools, good information, a good product. And the difference between the two, we're gonna go through this a little bit, okay? So for a salesperson, they don't have to believe in the product. They don't even have to like the product. I've known some great salespeople who can sell you just about anything. And behind the scenes, because I'm friends with them, they'll tell me, yeah, it doesn't work very well. Like, no, save your money, don't buy this product. And that is out of alignment, in my opinion. So when my friends tell me this kind of stuff, I go, you should probably pick products you actually believe in, you love, because people are gonna feel the passion and they're gonna feel your honesty and you're authentic. We don't wanna trick people in order to buy our services or products. We wanna believe wholeheartedly that we can help and we can serve and we can contribute. And there's a big problem. I mean, if you believe in karma, which I do, if you believe in law of attraction, cause and effect, these are laws of the universe. And if you are selling something that you don't believe in, if you are pushing something just to get a profit, that's gonna backfire on you. That will boomerang back to you, it will ricochet onto you. You're not gonna feel good about yourself. You're not gonna feel really great. Even when the money comes, it's gonna feel a little dirty. And we don't wanna be in that place. So a contributor is constantly thinking of, how can I serve the needs of this person the best? This person or this business. And you want them to thrive. And because you're on their side, you build rapport instantly, because they can feel that you're not pressuring them for a sale. And a conscientious contributor it's kind of a hard word to say, or term to say, but a conscientious contributor will be somebody that even if they are not the best person for this job, they will let you know that. They will be honest about it. And maybe in the future, you'll want to work with them because you believe them, because they were truthful with you. So as a coach, I get clients from all different walks of life. I have people that hit me up to be, coached by me, and sometimes they need a therapist. Sometimes it's not life coaching that they need. They are dealing with some heavy trauma, and I will direct them that direction. I will say, you might want to talk to somebody who is an expert in this area, a therapist or a psychologist. And there's other times where people want a certain niche, and it's very specific what they want to work on. And it's something that I don't currently offer, or it's not an area that I am an expert in. So I will refer them to other coaches that are experts in those areas. And what ends up happening is I feel good because I'm within my ethical and moral, I'm within that good truth, authenticity, honest place. And I have a good intention because I'm looking out for that person. And they can feel it, I can feel it. And later on, those clients usually come back and they tell me how great the experience has been with their other coach. And maybe down the line, they might want to work with me, or that other coach will refer people to me. Other things happen. The universe keeps the ultimate score, and the universe will take care of you if you take care of others. So when you are a contributor, you're always thinking, what can I give? How can I offer value to others? You're not thinking about what can I get? And that is one of the core differences between a sales mentality and a contributor mentality. Contributors are always trying to give, because they know if they keep giving, they will always be provided for. Whereas a sales mentality can be from a place of lack, where you're trying to force things, you're trying to grab at things, and you're always trying to get every morsel and every crumb that's left behind because you're just thinking about profits. And oftentimes, when you're in a sales environment, when you work for a boss, that boss may not have high moral integrity. There have been some companies I've dealt with recently. My van was stolen, and I have an insurance policy on it. And also the van was found, it was stolen and it was found, so it was put in a tow yard. And the tow yard was telling me that every few days they're gonna send out a certified letter, which is gonna cost me $100. Well, I have been on a trip because when my van got stolen, I decided I'm gonna take a trip. I'm gonna enjoy this opportunity. I'm not gonna let it get to me that it was stolen. So I ended up doing that. And because I wasn't nearby the van, they want to send this letter every couple days, even though I'm paying rent for the van to sit in this tow yard. They want to send this letter because they're trying to gouge more money from me. And when you talk to the customer service people, they're like, well, that's just our policy. But the truth is, we have to be people who understand that when things are just not right, we can't just continue to go along with that. And we have a choice in the matter. If we see things within a company that a company is doing that we don't believe is right or ethical, we have an obligation, if we are in alignment, to say something about that, to do something about that. Because we are in, a world where, we're supposed to care about each other. We're supposed to look out for our brothers and stuff. But a lot of times the world is counter to that. It's more about profit. It's more about business. I do think the pendulum is swinging to a place where we are going to see a major shift. I mean, I already see this shift happening, and I think it's going to continue. We are going to continue to see a massive shift where we do go back to the roots of who we are, and we start to really connect with people again, and we put people over profits. And that will be a beautiful thing. It's not going to come easy. There's going to be a lot of people who resist it. There's going to be a lot of corporations who pretend to care about people but really don't. You're going to see a lot of this coming up. But continue to do business with people who care about people. And when you hear that a friend was treated poorly at a restaurant or something happened, if that is not rectified by the restaurant, if that is not dealt with, don't continue to patronize that place. Because if you are a patron at that place and you continue to give your money, it's almost like voting for that building, that company. And if these places are not in alignment with your values, like if you see them doing things that are just corrupt, or they're not being kind to other people, or they're trying to segregate in some way, or they're trying to block certain people, with gay rights. There were cake decorators that didn't want to decorate cakes for gay couples. Well, if you're a straight couple watching that and you don't think that that's right, don't go to that place. If there is a business that is funding political candidates that don't align with your values, don't keep going to that place, because you're contributing to that. If you continue to give your money, you are voting, you are giving to causes that don't support people and their rights. So we want to be very aware. We want to be very aware of sales and profits versus caring about people, having empathy. And going back to that story of them charging me like $100 every few days. So I called them and I said, I know the van was towed here. I don't need a letter sent to my house every few days. I'm trying to work out a deal with you all so that you guys know that I will be back on this date to pick up the van. And I was trying to be very honest and very open about it, but they were like, oh, well, it's our policy to send this out every few days. And that's just not acceptable to me, because it's out of alignment. It's not ethical. They know that I know the van is there. They know that. So why would they need to send this letter? And it's just coming down to protocol and making money. So there are plenty of other examples. I mean, this is one example, but there are so many other examples where these kinds of behaviors happen. And of course, I am fortunate enough to be able to pay these fees, and I'm able to continue on my vacation and continue to live a really abundant, wonderful life. So I'm not going to let this get to me too much. But for other people who are really struggling, if they went through this situation or something similar, or if I had gone through it years ago in the past when I didn't have the resources to handle these problems, that could be really devastating. So I think it's important that we fight for the people that are coming up behind us too. When a door opens for you, you hold it open for other people. And if people are doing things that are corrupt, or they're selling things that don't work, or subpar products, I think it's important to be transparent and honest. And if you know that you're doing that right now, if you are a salesperson, if you are providing a service out there and you don't believe in what you're doing, I want you to really take a hard look at yourself. And I want you to think of, how can I offer more value? How can I contribute? If I don't believe in the product or service that I'm offering right now, where do I need to go? Do I need to get a new job? Do I need to provide something else for people? But give, and you will be given to. So I just want to share all of that with you. There are other things that separate being a salesperson and a conscientious contributor, and I'll share a couple more with you right now. So another one is obviously believing in your product. You don't have to believe in your product if you're a salesperson, versus a contributor will always believe in their product, because if they don't, they won't be selling it. It's just plain and simple. They will also assess the needs of the client, and they will put the needs of the client over their own self-interest. So I guess we kind of went through that one as well. But let me see, because I've written a few more out, because I do think this is really important, and I do want to share these with you. So a salesperson can be pushy, calculated, with a very hard sale at the end. A contributor will want you to use your gut instincts, your own intuition to decide if this is the right move for you. So they won't pressure you to sign right away at the end of the call. They'll give you the time and space that you need to analyze it and to decide for yourself if this is the right next move. And I will tell you from personal experience, this has worked wonders for me. Every client that I have ever had as a coach has come to me, and we have had a really good initial conversation, and we have decided from there jointly. I've had to decide if this is the right client for me to take on because my time is limited. I can't take on every client that wants to work with me, and the client has to decide if I'm the right coach for them. And I never pressure the sale because I don't need to. Because I believe that the world is abundant and there's plenty of people that could use my expertise and what I have to offer. I don't have to pressure anyone to make a sale. Because if I was pressuring them, then it's about the money. It's not about the service I provide. When people are ready, when they're ready for change in their life and they really are open and willing, they joyously give. They joyously walk into the gym. They joyously take that next step and hire that person, that expert in that area. You know, when it comes to the gym, I do know that there's some people that resist it, but when you make the decision, I'm going to change my life, there is a power to that, and there is a bit of joy and excitement in that move. You're not just dreading the whole experience. There is a bit of confidence. There's an inner self that is rejoicing when you do the right action for you. The mind might be coming in like, oh, I do not want to do this. This is terrible. And if that's all you were listening to, you wouldn't make the decision. So the mind is in conflict with the heart in those times. But even though the mind is going to chirp in and kind of try to stop you from doing those things, if your heart tells you, like, let's go for this, I want this is going to feel great. And really everything we do is because we know that we're going to feel good in the having of it, in the doing of it. So if we listen to that inner voice inside us and we take that action, we're going to feel really good about ourselves. So these are just a few ways that you can start to be more of a contributor, a conscientious contributor versus a salesperson.